What's up, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. All right, so we are back at it. We've got a dungeon team for Dragon, hard mode, epics only. I want to say the epic empowerment has actually done a lot of good for a lot of these accounts. Like, prior to the epic empowerment, I don't think half of these accounts, or these champions, to be quite honest, would even work in hard mode. But we did manage to do a team on stream. A lot of help from the guys from chat helping me out, trying to figure out which one was going to be the best one. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I should have used somebody else. But, you know, we needed to make sure that we were going to be plenty F-tanky with, you know, taking on the dragon, especially because it's hard mode. We needed to make sure that we were going to be able to clear any of the debuffs that the dragon brought on us or block them, and at least do some damage. So the waves, unfortunately, we're using a Seer. It is what it is. I can't help it. That said, let's go ahead. Let's break down the team and let's see what we're working with. Okay, so we are going to be working with a hard 6. Now, we did try it on some of the other stages. We got it to hard 8, right? Because we were positive affinity for some of the champions. I'm not going to farm hard 8 because it felt very inconsistent. Like, we just had that oh shit moment right at the start. So hard 6 is what we're going to do. And we are working with Seer, White Dryad Nia. We are using a Mausoleum Mage, Stag Knight, and Dark Keal. Now, could you replace any of these? Unfortunately, we did try like using EPICS, right? And looking at this, once we get to the dragon, that poison that he puts on us is going to hurt a lot. So we need to make sure that we have something to cleanse that. So if you're looking to do hard mode, you've got to make sure you have a cleanser, and Mausoleum Mage is going to be the one. That said, let's go ahead and let's start the run. I'll even do a super rage to show you guys that I'm confident in the team, that it's not going to fail. But during the first round, Seer just comes in with that 6-star crushing rend and just blows everything up. We brought in the White Dryad Nia to make sure that she resets the Seer, making it actually, you know, the waves takes us, there we go, 16 turns, 20 seconds roughly. So here is where we're going to kind of, you know, if we lose somebody, it's fine as long as we're not losing the Dark Keal or the Mausoleum Mage. But hard mode is no joke. Like, it takes a lot of gear. Like, the damage that the dragon will put out on us will be insane. You can see here, White Dryad Nia was down to like 50% after that ally protection, right? Mausoleum Mage come in clutch right there, cleansing everything off on us. And, you know, to answer the question ahead of advance, we are letting Seer use her A3 here, the Calmer Burn, just to make it a little bit faster. Granted, it's only 10%. I don't know. Could I have used somebody else a little more different to speed the run up? I thought bringing in EPICS might have been a better choice, but it didn't really work out as intended, right? I thought the passive was going to be good. But 1 minute, 13 seconds, 82 turns. It's actually not that bad, guys. And it's all epics. Granted, the gear might not be as achievable as you think, but I don't think we really need it. I think we could have some definitely substitutions here. So let's go ahead. Let's break down the builds. Okay, so I do want to make sure I mention here that we are not working with the main account. You can see here, 11.9 player power. So the gear on this account is not crazy. It's not my main account where we're talking mythical, legendary, all the way. We are working with an alt account, so I thought this would be a little more, I guess, easygoing for showcasing the teams. We do have some blessings on the team, right? So Seer coming in, she is the queen, so her first. We are working with a lethal and cruel set. Now, what we focused on here was making sure that her A3 hit as hard as possible. That said, we don't care about attack, we don't care about HP, we don't care about defense, right? If she happened to die at the start of facing the dragon, it's not a problem. We prefer that, actually, because she doesn't rip off the buffs unless you want to turn it off. Just her animation takes a lot longer. So we do have a build with 210 speed, right? 110% crit rate. I know it's over crit capped. 299 crit damage. And then as for ignore defense, we only have 6%. And then putting in the accuracy at 297. If they had some buffs on him, we'd be able to rip him off. We won't be able to rip him off the dragon, unfortunately. I probably could put a little more accuracy in it, and it might help us ripping off that decreased attack, but it is what it is at this point. I'm not going to focus that because that would make me rebuild her. Let's talk about skills. Skills, we do have her fully booked, right? Crushing Rend is the blessing that we did take because we have a 6-star. As for masteries, we did go offense and support. Now here, we take Deadly Precision. We did take Keen Strike along with Heart of Glory. We did take Whirlwind of Death. We did also take Ruthless Ambush, Wrath of the Slaying, along with Bring It Down. We did go ahead and take Kill Streak and Blood Shield along with Flawless Execution. Now, as for the tier 6 mastery, I took Flawless Execution because I wanted to try to maximize as much as I could on the A3. A lot of content creators and a lot of other people might actually take Palm Smasher or might even take War Master because of using her in Fire Knight. That's still fine if you can get enough crit damage on it. As for the support tree, we did go ahead and we took Pinpoint Accuracy, Charge Focus, we did take Swarm Smiter, and we did take Evil Eye. Now, you could come and take any one of these other bottom ones that you wanted. You could take Lasting Gifts if you really wanted to, if you came down and took Cycle of Magic. The only thing I would say is because Seer is going to be speed tuned to a lot of specific runs, you really don't want to take Rapid Response or Arcane Celerity. Next up, we're going to work with Stag Knight. That's Stag Knight. We have him built with a shield set and resilience, but we did realize, or I realized later on that we kind of screwed up because I forgot we brought in a bolster set, and bolster overrides the shield set, right? So it becomes protected. So our Seer then cannot rip it off. So that said, I'd probably go back and change my Stag Knight to something a little more different, a little more of a damage build focus as opposed to bringing in the shield set. That said though, for Dragon, we have him built with 53k HP, 2.9k attack, 2.8k defense, 245 speed. So we want to make sure that he's faster than most of our other champions, probably going second or third in the turn order. 100% crit rate. If you can do your supports with 100% crit rate, it's always a good idea. 189 crit damage. We don't care about resistance, and then we made sure that we have enough accuracy to land almost anything we need in the game, which is 521. Now, as for the skills, we do have him fully booked. Cruelty is the best blessing for him. He's got an AoE, he's got a single target double hit. It's going to be the best one, no matter what. As for masteries, we did go again down the support and the offense tree. We came down, we took Deadly Precision, we took Keen Strike along with Heart of Glory. We did take Single Out along with Life Drinker. We also did take Bring It Down with Methodical and War Master. As for the support, we came down and we took Pinpoint Accuracy, Charge Focus, Swarm Smiter along with Lord of Steel, Cycle of Magic, and we did take Sniper along with Master Hexer. Again, same thing as Seer. I would avoid taking Rapid Response and Arcane Celerity. All right, let's talk about White Dragon. She has actually become one of my favorite champions lately because I forget how powerful her reset is, right? And what she can do. So we did build her with a bolster set. That's what I was saying before. I'd probably go back and not build her in a bolster or not build Stag Knight in a shield set because it overtakes the protective buff. That said, though, we build her again in a bolster and resilience, right? Trying to beef up her HP as much as possible. Now, as for Dragon, we currently have her with 87k HP, 2.1k attack. She's not attack based, so you don't really want that. 4k defense, trying to make sure she's kind of tanky. But as you saw in the run earlier, she did go down pretty hard when it came for it on the ally protection. So you're probably better going off a little more HP than defense. 266 speed. So we have her actually going, I believe it's first in the turn order to make sure that she puts up her buffs and gets that ally protection as much as possible. We did not build her with crit rate or crit damage. Unfortunately, she actually has a little too much crit damage. I'd like to try to lower that down as much as possible. Resistance, we got 237. We didn't really build for it. And then accuracy, we built for the A1 on the ads to try to get that decreased speed, along with being able to use her everywhere else in game. Now, for skills wise, we do have her fully booked. Ideally, you really only care about the A 2, right? You want to just reset the cooldowns, and that's it. As for the A3, if you have it fully booked, it's not going to hurt, right? Commanding Presence is the blessing that we did take for her. You can let me know in the comments down below, should I have taken something else? We looked at it, and chat was like, well, when in doubt, always go Cruelty. The problem with that would have been is we would have had too much Cruelty. So we couldn't have stacked that up. That said, probably Cruelty would not be a bad idea because she has an AoE A1. As for masteries for her, we did go down the offense and defense tree. So we came down, we took Deadly Precision. We did take Keen Strike along with Heart of Glory. We did take Single Out with Life Drinker. We also took Wrath of the Slaying with Bring It Down, along down to Methodical and War Master. As for the defense tree, we came down, we took Tough Skin. We did take Blast Proof along with Resurgent. We did also take Delay of Death with Retribution and Turrets. Now, that said, you could take the support tree if you really wanted to. There's not a lot that I would advocate to try to take here. You could, if you're using her in other areas of the game like Hydra and stuff, you could probably come down and take Arcane Celerity and Rapid Response to try to make sure that you get back to that ally protection and that reset as much as possible. But I wouldn't focus too much on this. I would not go support to be quite honest, just because there's just a lot more, with the counterattack on the A1, you'd get a lot more out of it for the decreased speed than anything else. Next up, we've got the master himself, Mausoleum Mage, coming in clutch. I mean, he's got a cleanse and a full team block debuffs with increased defense. That is very solid. I tried to look for another option. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So, Plarium, if you're watching this, let's do a guaranteed Mausoleum Mage.
I like that idea very much.
Because that would help out a lot, especially for people to pair with their Seers, right? So that said, we did build him with a Defiant and Bolster set. I wanted to make sure that he was able to make sure that he brought himself back up, right? So keeping that in mind, I made sure that we try to bring as much damage mitigation as possible with the Defiant set, along with keeping him healthy. That said, the blessings, not the blessings, sorry. The stats that we're working with are 71k HP. Not a lot, but he's not HP based. I really wish he was. It would make this a lot easier. 2.7k attack, 3.6, almost 3.7k defense, 265 speed, so second in the turn order, making sure that we get the cleanse up as quickly as possible, along with the decreased defense. The only thing I regret not doing is putting enough resistance on him. So I'd like to try to build his resistance close to like 400, 425 to make sure. So maybe in the future when we get that free gear removal, I might consider doing that. As for the skills, we do have them fully booked. Ideally, we're only prioritizing the A2 and the A3. As for him, Commanding Presence is what we did take. Granted, it does not stack with other ones, but again, he's a single target. I couldn't really make a case argument for anything else. Maybe, again, you guys can let me know in the comments down below, should I have picked something else? As for the masteries, we did not take any, but if we did, I probably would go down the support and the defense tree. I'd come down all the way for Timely Intervention. I would definitely take Lasting Gifts along with Spirit Haste. Definitely would take Cycle of Magic along with Merciful Aid. We would take Healing Savior. We would definitely take Lay on Hands, and we would definitely take Steadfast. As for the defense tree, it really just depends on what else you're going to take here. There's a lot of strong arguments to be made for, taking Rapid Response here to make sure that you're getting a lot more turn meter for that. As he is your, cleanser support, it works best for him. Other than that, I mean, I would come down strictly and just go down to Tough Skin, making sure we got Blast Proof, Shadow Heal, Delay of Death, and then I would go for Retribution because he does have a decreased speed on the A1, so if you had any accuracy on him, it would help. And last but not least, we have Dark Keal. Now, I really wish I could have gotten him in a 4-piece Stone Skin and Regen, but unfortunately, it did not work well for me. It just wasn't happening. So what we did ended up doing is we did put him in a regen and 2-piece perception with 1-piece stone skin. The stone skin just kind of happened to be there because that's what was the best HP for him. That said, though, the stats wise that we're looking with for Dragon was 64k HP, 3.6k defense. We don't care about attack, right? He's not going to do a lot of damage. 237 speed. Again, we want to try to make sure that he's fast, but not too fast that he's outrunning everybody else. We don't care about crit rate or crit damage. 242 resistance, and we have 346 accuracy, enough to land what we need, right? He's all poison, so he's not going to do a lot of damage for you on, you know, just raw built damage. As for skills, we did bring down and we have everything fully booked. Blessings wise, I don't know. It really depends. It's a 1-star blessing, so I didn't really mess with it too much. But you could let me know what would be better. You know, let me know in the comments down below. As for the masteries, we don't have them fully done. Ideally for him, I would probably come all the way down to Eagle Eye. So I would go to support tree, come down, and I would take pinpoint to accuracy. I would take charge focus along with swarm smiter. I would definitely come down and take Lord of Steel and merciful aid. Be looking at either sniper or master hexer, and then I would definitely be going down to Eagle Eye. That 50 accuracy is big. As for the support tree, I would come down, and again, I'd probably be looking a lot more like the rest of the tree, like the rest of the champions. Tough skin, along with blast proof, taking resurgent, along with delay of death, and going down to retribution. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative some way or somehow, maybe on some of the builds. You can let me know in the comments what you found most interesting about the video, or if you found it helpful at all. That said, are you going for this tournament, right? I mean, a lot of us are only really going for it for the points for the Serpent's Path for Mithrala, and this one being locked at 80 is actually a big hit, so I don't really want to miss that, especially because that 5-star soul for Mithrala is huge. But ideally, if you're looking to maximize the points that you're going to get for this, farm stage 20. Don't worry about hard modes unless you actually really need the gear. Now, from my account, I actually need the gear, and we're running 3x speed, so that is kind of the situation that I'm currently in. I'm only going to be farming this for one day just to get the points, and then I'm going to be out. I'm hoping that I can get some pieces of gear. That would be great. That said, if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button, guys. And if you got some time, join us on Sundays for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we talk everything Raid Shadow Legends. We have some of your favorite Raid creators, streamers, YouTubers, whatever they are. They're all allowed to come on, give their thoughts and opinions. We urge it. We welcome it. It makes for a great discussion. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys next time.